Stay tuned, everybody, because it's time for the Playin on Music Row podcast with your host, Fran. Heard each week on this station. And now, here's Fran.
Well, welcome, everyone. I especially want to welcome Paul Jupe. Great guy. He forgives me, and I appreciate that. Welcome to Playin on Music Row. Thank you for taking time to speak with us today, Paul.
Oh, no problem, Fran. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
You're quite welcome. Let me ask you, when you were growing up, did your family have any influence on you with music?
Yeah, there's my mother, though they didn't play professionally or anything, then my mother used to love singing. So she was always singing to me and stuff like that, or to me and my brothers. And she played a piano as well, as did my dad. And my middle brother played bass guitar for a while, and did some shows with me over the years. And my oldest brother was a singer. Yeah, it's always been in the family, music. So it was kind of like a natural thing that I would pick it up, I suppose.
Okay, so I guess I could call it a family tradition, huh?
Yes.
Who are some of the writers and artists that have influenced you?
Well, my biggest influence is Angus Young from AC/DC. They were the whole reason I ever started playing guitar, to be honest with you. I remember seeing, as I say, I'm dating myself, going to see the Highway to Hell tour when it first came out, and it just blew my mind. And it was bands like AC/DC, Thin Lizzy, and those type of bands that started me off, because originally I'm a rock musician, still am a rock musician, and managed to work the two together, which is fantastic.
Okay, well, you have a release called My Friends Are Talking. Can you give us a little background on that particular song? Because we're going to play the song after you finish telling us about it.
Yeah, sure. My Friends Are Talking is off the first album. I'm working on the second at the moment. And it's all about a relationship that's broken down. One hasn't quite realised that it has broken down as much as it has, and the other one's decided to move on their way. And it's about hearing it, through the grapevine, really.
Okay. Well, let's play and listen to My Friends Are Talking by Paul Jupe.
You've been acting real strange just lately. Nothing I can do or say makes you smile no more anymore. I don't know just what the hell you're
Thank you for playing that one. I haven't heard that back for a while.
That's a cool sound, I tell you. That's but I'm
Oh,
liking
thank
the
you.
sound. Now you said it's not liking the sound. I'm liking the sound there.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
So glad you liked it.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's gonna like that song.
Yeah.
Man, it's just good. Who are some of the artists you've worked with and written with?
I've written with there's a lady from Australia. She was in I've written all types of music, symphonic rock and melodic rock and a few country. I wrote an international album for a band called AGD. Wrote the songs. We had some players from all over the world on that. But touring was kind of hard to get people together when they're in. One was in America, the singer. One was in France. One was in Brazil, and so on and so on. So I wrote that first initial album, which is the first sort of country rock album I wrote, really. Then I wrote for this lady in Australia, which was, as I say, a symphonic rock album. I wrote a few songs for her and a band called Achillia. So yeah, I've been kind of writing for people on and off most of the time, and writing for bands. I've only ever really sort of gone out with bands and written for them and recorded with them and whatever. So this is my kind of 3 years ago was my first venture at saying I'm going to go out and produce my, not produce, but play my own stuff and just see how it goes, really. So I'm just amazed by the response. So it's truly humbling.
Oh, great. When actually did you begin like writing and performing your songs? I mean, you said now, but did you have you do that early on or something?
Yeah, I've been playing for over 30 some odd years in the UK, around the country in the UK, playing all different types of music in cover bands, in original bands and various different whatever came along really. Sometimes two bands at once and those sort of things. And so yeah, I've been constantly busy playing and stuff. And that's I started playing guitar at 14. And just kind of went from there. And I was very lucky because I started in an original band where we started to write music together, and they were very simple songs, but we were very young and they were great sounding to us. And playing one note all night was just fantastic to us. And lucky enough, at our first show, someone said to me, "I'm just leaving the band, and I want you to take my place." And then I went straight on to one of the sort of top original bands in the local area. So I was very lucky from there, and they kind of trained me up and put me into shape and about touring and things like that. So yeah, I was very lucky.
So I guess you're not planning on putting out a project of your very first songs you've written?
I've never really thought about that. Maybe now you've mentioned it, I might do. Because you listen back to songs in different styles and things. You think, oh, that would be a different song. Nice if you changed it a bit and made it fit what you are now. What you're playing and all that sort of thing. And yeah, there are a few songs like that. So maybe now you've mentioned it, I'll go back and have a listen to a few.
Listen, where do you find you get the ideas for your song?
From anything really. It can be way back on the first album there was one song that I wrote, and it was my phone was buffering and it was just doing like a beat where it was the internet was going in and out and going in and out. And that's I wrote a song from that because it was like, oh, I really like that. It was like a real shuffle sort of beat, and I thought, so it can be from something like that. It can be sometimes they just pop into my head, and I've got to get them down because you don't kind of get them down. I've got lots of ideas on my phone, so if I don't get them down, they're gone forever. And then sometimes I'll just play my guitar, and they're just sort of like a tune. But I'm very, very lucky to be living in. I'm a city boy, really, but in the last 8 years, I've been living out in the countryside, which I'm really grateful for. And there's so much around that inspires me to write about what I see. So yeah, it sort of comes from everywhere, really.
Okay, well, how would you describe the sound of your music?
Wow, that's a tough one. Well, obviously, I'm a rock based artist. I first heard Keith Urban's "Somebody Like You," many years ago when the album first came out, and I just thought I've always loved country music, and I've always always been into playing rock music, and that was the first time I kind of thought, well, I could. That's the kind of the sound that I was looking for, and I could mix the two together. So that was the first time I realised I could do that. So that was where it all started, really. So yeah, it's definitely for me, it's rock based with the country attached to it.
Okay. Well, you have a song titled "Crazy About You," and
Yeah.
we're gonna want to play that too now. But can you give us a little bit of a background on that song?
Yeah, that's a bit of a fun song, really. It's about it's kind of rock and roll based, really, I suppose, where the guitar work comes from, and it's about kind of really liking somebody that you see around where you sort of go out drinking and things, but you just haven't got the courage to tell them, and the more you try and pluck up courage, the less confidence you seem to have, and that's what it's about. Crazy About You.
Okay, we're gonna listen to "Crazy About You" by Paul Jupe. Jupe.
Thank you.
My heart is beating like a train on a track. First time I saw you, there was no turning back. Weak at the knees, I'm falling for you. When will you notice? What more can I do? Don't you know why I do the things that I do? Running around like a fool. Don't you know why I can't stop talking about you, baby? I'm crazy about you. So hard just to talk to you, to walk on over and be real cool. My mind goes blank, my words come out wrong, so you just smile and swiftly move on. Don't you know why I do the things that I do? Running around like a fool. Don't you know why I can't stop talking about you, baby? I'm crazy about you. I saw you, there was no turning back. Don't you know why I do the things that I do? Running around like a fool. Don't you know why I can't stop talking about you, baby? I'm crazy about you.
Well, cool. Now
Thank
that I'm
you.
listening to that, who were the musicians on that? Are they part of your band, or did you studio musicians, or who are they?
Studio musicians. Yeah, there was the bass player was from Brazil, Lucio Manca. On drums was Gary King, music, and yeah, the rest was kind of me, really. But
Okay.
yeah, so we had a little sort of team, and that they played on the songs. And they did a great job, and Gary produced and mixed it as well. So so he did a fantastic job for me. So super thankful.
Very cool. Um, how is your music career being promoted? Do you have anybody helping you promote your music career?
Yeah, I'm at the moment. I'm with Country Music Social Media, a UK-based promotional company, and they help me get my music out to the radio stations. And also, I have Caden Gordon as well. He's a great chap, and he gets me contact with radio stations and yourself. So big thanks, Caden, for that. Appreciate that, and he's a great guy. And Ken Meakin runs country music social media, and he's a great guy. And Helen and Mace. So they're all out there, doing a great job, which is it gives me lots of airplay and things, which is brilliant.
Okay. Are you planning on touring or performing in support of your new releases?
I'm hoping to. I've just did a single song in Atlanta for the International Singer-Songwriters Awards, and that was fantastic. And I've just come back and gone off to the Netherlands as well. And unfortunately, I didn't get to play a song out there, but it was great to be around another awards ceremony and things. So yeah, I'm going to try and get out. I've got to try and find the band to. I'd like to come out and play as the band. At the moment, I'm doing sort of acoustic live shows, which is great. But I really would like to get back into having the power of a band behind me again, which would be great.
Okay. Well, how can the listening audience find out more about Paul Jupe and follow you, listen to more of your music?
I'm on all the social media sites, Paul Jupe Music, and I've got a Facebook group called Country Rocker Paul Jupe, and obviously Paul Jupe Music page there. Likewise on Instagram, all the social media sites, Spotify, any of the sort of streaming and downloading sites they can listen to me on. Just catch up with me there and come and say hi, and I'd love to have a chat and things. It'd be great.
That'd be fine. Okay. Now I've asked you a lot of questions. Is there anything I haven't asked you that maybe you want to tell the audience? You have something that you'd like to share with the people?
Yeah, I've recently this year, as I say, I went out to Atlanta for the International Singer-Songwriters Awards, and I was very, very lucky enough to win the Silver Award as Vocalist of the Year. So I'm unbelievable. So I came away with an award from that. So I'm really, really happy. And when I went out to the Netherlands last weekend, Fair Play Country Music Red Carpet Awards, and both awards were just absolutely amazing. It's awesome to meet so many people in the business, and everyone's just so friendly, and we've all been through the same things, playing and touring and things. So it's we can talk for hours. And in the Netherlands, I was lucky enough to win Songwriter of the Year. So I'm super, super stoked to everybody that voted for me to get into the finalist stages in both. And big thanks to all the judges and everything that voted me. I can't believe it. So I'm super happy.
Well, that's good. Well, that helps you let you know you're on the right track. You're doing what people like. That's very good.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, Paul, I tell you, the National Broadcasting Network wants to thank you for taking the time today to speak to us. We very much appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on the show. It's I really am grateful for you to be out here and helping me get my music out. It's so valuable to me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, you're quite welcome.